Hare Krishna. So in today's episode, we will reflect on the 20th verse of the 4th chapter from the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Now today's verse is a little technical, so we will go slow. So the Sanskrit verse is as follows. Tyaktva karma phala sangam nitya tripto nirashrayah karmanya abhipravittopi neva kinchit karoti saha. The English translation is as follows. Abandoning all attachment to the results of his activities, ever satisfied and independent, he performs no fruitive action, although engaged in all kinds of undertakings. Act in detachment. The criteria is not to give up karma, but to give up attachment, giving up selfishness. Right now, Krishna is not talking about devotional thing or about himself. He is talking about nirashraya. Krishna is not focusing about himself. Krishna speaks about himself in response to Arjuna's question. But from Bhagavad Gita chapter number 4 verse number 16 onwards, Krishna is basically talking about karma yoga. From Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 verse number 35, Krishna is talking about this theme. In the 35th verse, he told to act according to one's dharma. And a slight detour came as Arjuna asked a question in 3.36, that what makes an act sinful? So from 37 to 43, this question was answered by Krishna. And then when Krishna was explaining the history of that knowledge, Arjuna asked another question. How you could have spoken to Sun God in verse number 4 of this chapter? To respond to this question, Krishna talked about his supreme position from verse 5 to 15. But essentially, Krishna is talking about Karma Yoga. And in this connection, he says, yes, a person may act, but if he is not selfishly motivated, he will not be bound. So here, Nirashraya doesn't refer to taking shelter of Krishna. Till now, Krishna has not introduced himself as Paramashray. That he will introduce in the later chapter. And in Bhagavad Gita, 18th chapter, verse number 66. He will say, Sarva Dharmana Paritajya. So here he is talking about being detached. There are two aspects. To be detached from worldly things and be attached to Krishna. So right now the focus is on be attached. So Nirashraya means don't take shelter of anyone. Means do not become attached to anyone materially. The same point Sri Krishna has talked about in the 19th verse of the previous chapter. Such a person doesn't need to take shelter of anyone else. It means don't become attached to anyone else materially. Such a person will not be bound. So, in the next session, we will discuss about the 21st verse of this chapter. Till then, Hare Krishna.